Welcome, everyone, to Rebirth, a D&D Tale. Last we left off, our party of adventurers, the Lucky Sevens, found themselves in the vicinity of Diamond City. The city abuzz with people, the loud noises of the airships coming into the airport, the sort of buzz of just liveliness all around the city, kind of giving the party a bit of a fresh air. Until it is that they saw one of these said airships coming towards the city, looking as if it was on fire. A recognizable ship amongst the party members. Selter, the ship that Professor Cypher was piloting. It came crashing down as a result of a attack. And as a result, a small little dragon creature and Cypher were both injured in the crash. The party rushed them to the nearby inn to tend to their wounds themselves. But have yet to actually wake up. And so, the Lucky Sevens have started to worry about their friend and wonder what happened that caused the ship to crash in the first place. Knowing that the city will be abuzz with the news of the crash here fairly soon, if not already. And to possibly make things a little bit stranger, the two that they brought in were riding an ethereal sort of dragon spirit. So maybe that will start some talk around the city as well. But for now, the Lucky Sevens have their sort of room and board at a local inn. The pair, Cypher, and what they assume to be Selter, still unconscious in the beds. What do you do? It is about midday at this moment.
Lagon is keeping a very close vigil of for.
Yes, last we saw Lagon, he was sort of performing an exacting sort of surgery to remove the sort of black strands of hair that seemed to be clogging up the wounds of Selter at the moment. Is monitoring Cypher, but hasn't really begun to work on him just yet.
Mm-mm.
Are airships magical items or just mechanical?
It's a combination from what you can tell. That there are some mechanical functions that go into it, but a lot of the floating devices you would know to be magical based on your observations.
Yeah, maybe check those out with an Arcana skill check to see if I can find out what went wrong.
That would be the case if it wasn't for the fact that the actual ship itself seems to have disappeared. The only thing that remained in the crash were your two friends. You have Cypher, and then you have this very small sort of dragonborn type creature. That
would complicate things, yeah.
You've seen projections of this creature and know it to be Selter. but you hadn't actually seen it in the flesh before.
So, if we don't have any alcohol, I am going to need some alcohol. Preferably something that is at least 80 or 100 proof.
Which is easy enough to find, given that there are, there's definitely been, some supply stores that will have just alcohol for the sake of sterilizing, and then there's also, alcohol that's for the sake of consuming. So, just depends on where you go.
I specifically for sterilization and potentially herbs to make a poultice for the wounds as well.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to be so difficult in closing, this is at least going to help prevent infections.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so it's easy enough to find. In fact, Arya and Kaz have made themselves useful to go and gather those supplies for you. But have since come back since you've begun working, and are kind of sitting quietly, sort of just observing you as you're working,
Right.
and assisting in any way that you need.
When I need a pair of hands, hey, hold this.
Mm-hmm.
No, just put right here.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it down.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Arya is absolutely, doing everything that she can to help you.
Right. So I'm going to be busy for several more hours. With Celter and with Cypher.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said this was on both of them, and this is going to be surgery for hours.
And from what you can tell, it's the exact same wound on each of them.
I have ideas, and I don't necessarily want to speculate while I'm cutting into either of them.
There's additional wounds on Cypher himself, but as far as, the ones that are kind of, the big worrisome ones, they're the same on both of them.
Are identical, are near enough that they're in the exact same spot. They're both going out. I have ideas and theories, but I don't want to speculate while I'm doing surgery.
Yes, you need a focused mind, not a wandering mind.
Exactly.
What are the rest of you?
Vanya is floating back and forth between helping Lagon and tending to Cypher, as well as kind of continuing to question her brother to see if he knows anything more about how to deal with this kind of wound.
Yeah, Imbrel's kind of come over and started to also watch as Lagon's working on Celter at the moment, and Cypher is just resting on the other bed. He definitely looks worried, and has explained that a specific kind of magical blast is prone to causing this kind of injury, as well as keeping it open for the intended purpose of causing severe damage as well as, death. This is not unusual for him to see in people that he's attacked before.
It just makes it harder to deal with.
Intentionally.
Well, that figures. But she'll continue going back and forth, assisting where she can.
Okay. What about Elira and Kinwin? Too many too many cooks in the kitchen can tend to make things a little bit
That's
a little bit
exactly what I
more.
was thinking. I'm actually trying to think, like, what can I do that would actually be useful in this situation?
Well, I know Kinwin, you have herbalism as a kit proficiency, so you can help in making poultices and things like that to be able to help Lagon while he goes in and applies these things. Alira, do you have any kit proficiencies that would be useful in this case?
No.
Okay. What do you think that you would be doing otherwise in this case,
Trying
then?
to figure that out, to be honest with you.
So you might be more on the observing sort of a stance, much like Kaz is right now. Yeah. Because you do have healing spells, but healing spells will only get you so far in this particular case, as the wounds do close some, but they don't close fully. And it definitely seems like that particular blast does this intentionally. And so, really, it's a matter of Lagon spending most, if not all day, on both of them to apply an exacting hand on removing the very taut threads of hair and closing the wounds with needle and thread instead, and applying sterile the sterile alcohol and the poultices that Kinwin's able to make in order to prevent infection. And so it's probably well into the night that Lagon, you get finished with tending to both of them. Neither of them are awake yet, probably on purpose in some of it, keeping them unconscious during a very invasive sort of repair of their tissues, but it's just a matter of rest for them now. And for the moment, if you continue into the night, you will have a level of exhaustion in the morning.
Yeah, Lagon's going to be exhausted tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to stay up and monitor them all night.
Okay.
Just to he's never seen this kind of injury before. He's seen this kind of surgery before on ship. He did have to work through a lot of other things before making it to the sails. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that he's helped the surgeon as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he's never had to perform anything that's extensive or seen this extensive either. And
thankfully you have the notes of a fairly fairly
so
renowned.
while he's taking a break, he's going to sit down and read to see if she had any kinds of notes on this specific type of injury or anything closely related.
Well, since you're exhausted, it might be hard to skim through, but let's go ahead and make that a what's I'm I'm having a hard time thinking of skills at the moment. D&D skills.
Investigation?
Yeah, investigation will work, but you'll be at disadvantage since you're having a hard time concentrating after all that surgery.
Okay. 15.
Okay. You do find notes on similar things that
I'm also specifically trying to tie in anything that mentions the Eldritch, because that was what I believe I heard Imbrel. So anything along those lines as well that might pop up in her notes.
Um,
That's all I'm looking for.
you do see some sort of vague notes about it. Um, it's regarding a specific person that that she traveled with for a brief period of time. But nothing
Nothing on treating those type of wounds.
nothing on treating it. No, not necessarily, because it was always it was never something that was directed uh, at her or her party members that she had to treat all that
Okay.
much. So there's very little in the way of treatment options that's recorded, but it's definitely something that has been seen before.
Okay. Now, if I can find any space in this book, I'm going to make my own notes and observations on my specific dealing with this.
Yep.
And the two individuals that I'm dealing with.
Yep.
Because I believe you said there were some blank pages.
There are some blank pages, and you can always add more for your own notes. So while it's not completely full, and you can rearrange some things, put some additional notes, kind of stick it all together with like paper clips or staples or things of that sort. To if you want to put it in a specific spot, but yeah, you have plenty of plenty of ability to put your own notes in the book.
Yeah, I'm going to make some detailed notes, as detailed as I realized hers were, as best that I.
Yep.
With my knowledge, the surgery, the performance of the surgery as well. So essentially, I'm writing my notes all night while I'm trying to keep an eye on them, listening for if they might stir. But yeah, that's what Lagon's doing.
Okay. So you're staying up all night observing them too. So you will have a level of exhaustion and that lasts through the next day as well. So you'll have disadvantage on skill checks and attack rolls if you do find yourself in combat the following day. So, but the rest of you do have the opportunity to get a long rest if you would also like to do so.
I will definitely take advantage of that.
Sounds nice.
All right. So the only one not getting a long rest at the moment is Lagon, because he is staying up all night. And so, when you all do wake up in the morning, having those of you who did, having gotten your long rest, Arya and Kaz have made themselves useful to go and get more supplies if needed. But the rest of you went to the professor and Selter have not woken up yet. They are still very much unconscious. And look as if they're going to be unconscious for a little while still. Still sort of healing as it looks.
With them still out and Lagon still keeping an eye on them, Vanya is going to go back out to take another look at the crash site.
Okay.
See if maybe she could figure out anything that may have caused it out there, and maybe start work on tracking down Caleb.
Okay. Anyone else going with her? Anyone else doing something different?
Yeah, sure, I'll end up joining.
Okay. And Kilwin, what are you doing?
Um, helping out wherever I can.
Okay. So you're going along with Vanya towards the crash site to see if you can track down Caleb?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
And Lagan, are you still monitoring?
Yeah, Lagan's not going to leave them alone at any point.
Kaz and Arya do offer to keep an eye on things if you do need to do something of your own.
Yeah, Lagan's gonna go at least get a short rest.
Okay. So he's going to spend a short rest.
Yeah, while they go to the crash site, Lagan's gonna get a short rest.
Okay. So that does give you the opportunity if you need to heal up hit points, but it does not.
Oh, I know it's not taking the exhaustion away. It's the only thing that he can do to monitor them.
He's just getting a
Is
nap.
yeah, that's all he can do.
Yep.
He doesn't want to fall asleep because things happen. Just
Mm-hmm.
short nap.
Just get a nap for about an hour. Okay. So during that time, we have Kinwin, Vanya, and Lyra making their way out towards the crash site. And when you get there, you do see that that it has been sort of cordoned off by the local authorities. There's a couple of guards who are standing watch, but also it also looks like there's maybe a couple of people who are kind of look like they're trying to observe from afar. And same for yourself. So for observing from afar, you don't see a ship. You just see the remnants of the fires that broke out, the sort of impact, sort of crater in the ground. You see that really it just seems like a big sort of dent in the woods where there used to be trees and now there are not. They have either been knocked over, the dirt is disturbed, the fires that broke out as a result, all of that sort of remnants that remain, but no remnants of a ship.
Okay.
So what were you hoping to find?
Some trace of Caleb. Apparently he
What
can't
makes you think you
teleport
would find
too
it here?
far away, but what was that? I didn't catch it.
What makes you think you would find it here?
Arya heard his voice right before she got out with Cypher. Right before they ended up landing in this spot. It's the only place I can think of to start.
So how might we begin?
Look around the immediate area. See if anything else aside from the biggest area is disturbed. Might have been where he ended up landing, and we can go from there if need be. So Vanya will start looking for any other area near the crash site that may have been disturbed by someone stepping through, landing in it.
Mm-hmm. You do see that the guards are kind of keeping you from getting too close. So if you don't want to overstep the guards, you can make that investigation roll at disadvantage,
Okay.
or you can try and get past them.
I'm weighing that option.
Because you will get one investigation check.
I think we'll try and get past them
Okay.
first.
So how are you trying to get past the guards?
How many guards are there in total, or do we have a way of knowing that?
There's probably one every 20 or so feet to kind of surround the place. Kind of think of like an ongoing investigation at a crime scene.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're looking at. These guards are not super heavily armed. They're just here to maintain a perimeter around the space while other investigators are investigating.
In that case, probably find the thickest portion of bushes between two guards and slip right through.
Okay. So you're not going to talk to them, you're going to stealth past.
Yep. Using pass without trace.
Is it going to just be you, or are you taking your companions with you?
That's up to them. Do they want to try and come along with me?
Alira is here currently helping you in whatever capacity she can.
Technically, I have both druids with me.
You do?
They can just turn themselves into spiders.
They could.
And right on my shoulders.
They could.
Oh, easily.
Easily, if you two want to each spend a shape change.
However, I do not. I do not want to spend that.
Do not want to spend a wild shape. Does Kinwin want to spend a wild shape and do that?
Yeah, sure. I got 20 wild shapes.
Okay. So Kinwin will spend a wild shape and become a very small creature attached to Vanya. What is Alira doing? Is she going to stealth alongside her companion?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank God for pass without trace.
All right. So
Actually, I only have 2. Do I ever get more wild shape actions?
Not many.
Not very many. It depends on level, I think. You get more wild shapes as you increase in level, I think. I know that certain druid circles eventually can wild shape into perpetuity, but I don't think that is all druids. That's something that we'll have to research. But as far as number of wild shapes, and they do restore on a short rest, I believe. So
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure my subclass is more on the magic side than the wild shaping side.
Yeah, land druids tend to revolve around that, and obviously we have a spore druid who's more around the spores and such that animates things. But Kinwin, I'm not going to make you do a stealth roll because you could just easily hide in Vanya's pocket. And Alira and Vanya will make stealth checks instead.
Ooh.
And don't forget the +10, Derek.
I actually have a half decent roll.
Ooh.
Half decent
roll? I don't know how to handle this.
A half decent roll? Oh my goodness.
Yes, I mean, like in the upper quarter is 16 plus 10, and I wish my character sheet would load.
Correction, 34.
Oh, great.
I forgot to add in my modifier.
Wait.
Because I rolled a 19 plus 10 and plus 5 on top of that.
Oh lordy. You are a dexterous lady.
Roll 20 froze on me.
If you're having troubles with it, then let me see if it'll pop up for me.
But it's going to be minimum of a 26.
Okay, and then you have an additional 3, so that's a 29 on Alira's. All right.
An actual half decent roll.
That is a very decent roll. You're decent indeed. So yeah, it's I'm just gonna roll for the sake of it because they're not
20s
that
happen.
skilled. But maybe you caught one guy who's maybe yawning just a little bit too long, just as you're slipping by. So once you get past the guards in the perimeter, though, there are a couple of other individuals who look to be of an official nature. Like they have uh, uh, sort of insignias of the royal guard, but they're not. They're even less armored than the guards. They just seem to be wearing um, some like clothing, like maybe cloth, maybe leather armor, if anything. You can't really tell, but they seem to be more interested in investigating the area than they are in maybe defending the area, as they don't seem to have weapons on them either.
Are they focused more on like the main crash site, or are they also doing like the surrounding area?
They kind of look like there's a couple. So one's kind of focused in on the impact. Others are kind of making documentation and kind of sampling the fallen trees and the charred remains of them. Another one seems to be just sort of in charge. Like he's kind of a delegating role, it looks like.
Okay, good. That they're not going to be too much of trouble then, because the plan isn't to go into like the crash site itself, but just more the kind of outline area around it.
Mm-hmm. So kind of closer to the perimeter.
Yeah. Because I doubt Caleb would be dumb enough to land directly in the crash area.
Okay.
If he landed around it at all.
Okay.
Not taking that bet.
Fair.
So Vanya is kind of investigating around closer to the perimeter. Okay. So you're still trying to keep out of sight, though. So I will say that you can roll that normally because you have help. Otherwise, normally it would be at disadvantage because you would be concentrating on stealth and your investigation.
Yeah.
So you can roll an investigation normally.
Nat 20.
Whew.
I didn't use up my luck after all. Yay.
All right. So with a natural 20, you kind of... Given that you are a hunter by trade, first and foremost, normally in the trade of hunting monsters, but you're looking to track a humanoid, a person who looks human for all intents and purposes. And so you're looking for tracks, you're looking for evidence that he was here, you're looking for anything that would lead you to believe that that he made it out of this crash alive, and where he might have gone if so. And so you do pick up that in kind of the surrounding area of the crash site, you do see little bits of those strands of hair, because you're looking that closely for it. You follow it. It leads you past the perimeter of the guards in the initial crash site. Seems to disappear for a moment in time, but you know what you're looking for. And so you start to surround even more of that, and even more of that, and even more of that, spending a lot of the day sort of making a circle even wider and wider around this whole crash site, staying out of sight of the guards. You find several hundred feet away from the crash site that there is a bloodstain. Small, wouldn't be noticeable by many others, but you're looking specifically for anything that would suggest that a creature left this place. You see the footfalls of a of a man of Caleb's size, and you start to follow them. It does seem like the lead away from the city, out into the woods, where you lose track of them over time.
Would I be able to try and track him?
It to so that's what she got with her natural 20. Yeah.
Nature, so.
Yeah. Do you have any other way that you would want to add to that, like with a spell or with something else? Because that's what she got with a natural 20.
Yeah, but that was on an investigation roll, not tracking, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I was kind of counting it as both a little bit. Hunting,
okay,
a tracking roll.
Then I have nothing I can possibly add in that regard.
Okay.
Outside
because she loses
maybe speak with plants, which I guess I can ask. Which.
Yeah, because that's a 24-hour period, and it's only been 20 or less.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's true. So at last known location, given his description, I'll end up using that to, with my own experience with speaking with the local flora, and seeing what we can end up ascertaining if we can go any further.
Okay. And speak with plants allows you to ask within a certain range, because each plant has a specific range within it, right? Within the last 24 hours.
Let me look it up.
Because I forget with that spell.
No, it's okay. It's a lot of spells to try and remember.
It's true.
Like I don't.
It's true.
I do not blame you.
I know more cleric spells than I do druid spells, if I'm honest. When it comes to recall.
I mean, fair.
I'm just pulling it up right now.
Imbue. Oh no, okay. No, that's imbued with 30 feet with you within limited. So that's plants within 30 feet of you at the time of its casting.
Okay. So you are at the less known location of these footsteps.
So this would require another cast.
Well, you only need to spend the one cast, because I wasn't going to force you to do anything other than that.
Okay.
So, with the one cast, speak with plants. You are at the last known location from what you can tell. And speaking with plants, the plants around that area is where you've cast a spell. So, gain information on creatures that have passed, any weather or other circumstances. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you speak with the plants around that surrounding area. They do recognize the creature that you mentioned. That it did come this way, headed away from it kind of describes the other plant in the area coming away from that direction, which you gather to be away from Diamond City, kind of out into the woods itself, headed northward, from what you can tell. Because this area of woods is north of Diamond City, and then the creature whom you mentioned as being Caleb is seen to have been going northward, but suddenly disappeared.
Suddenly disappeared.
And it describes it in a fashion that you have seen him disappear and teleport before.
So why would you have any idea as to why he would be heading north? Misdirection, perhaps?
The plants tell you that he seemed to be running from something.
Running from something.
But they mentioned that they have not seen another creature come by this way.
Could have very easily been from the crash site.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did follow him from there.
You don't believe him to be too clever?
I don't know what to make of him. On certain parts, he's clever, but other parts, he's more acting on instinct. It seems. Let's head back to the city. I think we've gone as far as we can. We've got a good start and at least a direction to go. Whether that's misdirection or not, we'll have to find out.
I will allow an insight check if you would like to insight on whether it would be a misdirection.
Okay.
Kind of an after-the-fact insight. Like you're trying to get into the head of a person running away.
I'll take that bet.
Not sure if he was heading north for a purpose, or was just the closest way to get away, or if there's a reason, or if he's heading north for us to follow him and technically teleported back to Diamond City and start working his way south for all we know.
Yeah. 24.
He's military. This could very likely be a misdirect. It could very likely be that he is indeed running away from something. But you get the distinct sense that if he's powerful enough to down Cypher and Selter, this is more of a clever play than it is a follow me sort of a thing. This is him trying to misdirect, trying to get you lost, trying to get you to follow something that may lead you nowhere. His actual goal you still don't know, but he's trying to lead you away from it. You know that for certain. He's intentionally trying to get you lost.
Yeah. Well, he's military. I'd bet on the side of clever for this. Let's head back.
Think he's going to finish the job?
I'm not sure. There's a chance he might be thinking that was enough to put these two out of commission for a while, if not permanently. Which, even I'm not sure what their state is right now. I've never seen a wound like that. But he was working with a cult raising the dead in cities. There's a chance he might start working with that here in Diamond City. What his actual goal is for heading back, I don't know. Would you watch your claws?
I try.
Sorry, cat.
No, I
think
have
that's
not
Quinn.
ever turned into a cat. That sounds like a Kinwin thing. I don't like things with 4 legs. It feels wrong. Like an amputation.
Fair enough. I think with that, they'll start heading back to the city.
Okay.
And still maybe keep an eye out just in case he's somewhere ahead of them still.
Keeping head on the swivel, sort of a thing. Make a perception check.
Oh, good, my favorite check. 23.
You keep your eye out. It's gotten late into the day as well, where the nocturnal creatures of the woods have started to come out as well, and the ability to see as far as you can has diminished greatly. It's starting to get dark. The moon sort of shining brightly overhead, but not providing enough light to make it very bright light at all. Except that Alira definitely has a stronger sense of sight in the dark than she does during the day. And so,
be grateful for the small things, even though it is. If the moon's out, I probably still perceive it as quite bright.
Yes, it is definitely quite bright for you still. The subterranean glow of bioluminescence never does get this bright. It's actually very beautiful. Kind of a silvery white light in the middle of the sky that as you get closer to the city, the city lights start to of torches and lanterns and lampposts all starting to brighten up things again. But making your way back into the city, it's easy enough to find on the horizons. You're always going in the right direction. Given that this particular city is meant to be sort of a gleaming beacon, as it were, as a capital city, it's kind of hard to miss. So you make your way very easily from the woods back to Diamond City, and back to your companions. By this point, Cypher has started to stir Lagon.
Okay, so Lagon's had his nap, and you said Cypher's starting to stir?
Yep, very late in the day.
Okay. Lagon would have some water and some kind of broth for Cypher so that he could at least get something to drink, stay hydrated. And Lagon would try to talk to him to find out what happened.
He's stirring. He's not completely coherent just yet, but he's you bring over like a bowl with some broth, and he'll drink it.
Be slow steps so that he doesn't get sick or choke. So, before pressuring him too much, making sure that he's. And does he know what happened?
You start asking those questions about the time that your companions start making it back to the inn. Kinwin, you're back to your regular form to follow into the city, because your wild shape only lasts a couple of hours. But you all make it back just in time as Lagon is feeding Cypher what looks to be like a light broth, and He seems to be sitting up for the most part, but he seems a little delirious still.
Oh, good, he's up.
We can be grateful for small favors, I suppose.
And after a bit of time, he seems to be somewhat lucid. He's kind of wincing at the pain of the wounds on his side, but he seems to be awake now. What happened? Where am I?
You are in Diamond City.
Yes.
You and Souther crashed just outside of north of the city.
Where is she?
In the bed next to us. She still has not stirred.
And he kind of leans over like he's gonna try and get up, but he just kind of collapses a little bit.
Ligon just barely touches his shoulder and pushes back down. Still too soon for you to do this. You need more rest. She needs. You need rest. So, question.
Answer.
How does this thing come out of the inside of both of you?
Well,
how did Caleb get?
The first question will take a long time to answer.
We've got plenty of it. You need that much rest at least.
he gives a laugh, but then he starts to wince in the pain.
Careful there, Professor.
Yeah.
How he managed to escape? Well, your guess is as good as mine. He was wielding a power that I have not seen for 100 years. He's powerful, that one. I don't think we were fortunate. I think we're just unlucky.
You're fortunate that you crossed just north of town and I was there, or I'm pretty sure you'd both be dead, or well on the way.
Keep my eye on my charges.
Well,
this time your charges have an eye on you.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. I don't think we would have... Well, survived the crash, yes, but... That's,
The wounds that I had to take care of, and Lagan will take a jar and with several of the black things that he's removed, hand it to Cypher. Have you ever seen these inside of someone's wounds? You said you had seen the power before. Have you ever seen this? This is what I had to remove for either of you to start healing.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense now. That specifically, I haven't seen for 100 years. That.
So what?
That is the remnants of A creature that impacted Fall Fire Plain millennia ago. And, well, that's a whole story in and of itself. But suffice it to say, that makes sense. At least to me. So... And, you removed them from shelter, too.
I had to. I started with her. I did. You were second.
My wounds were not nearly as grievous as hers.
No. But they match exactly or close enough.
Well...
So as to my first question.
She and I are the same.
That's what I thought.
One and the same.
You are the ship. She is the ship.
In a matter of speaking, if you want to simplify things.
She's the body, you're the brain.
It's far more complex than that, but yes.
Close enough.
Close enough. For you. But, yes. He got the better of me. I had put him in a chamber where he would be secure. He somehow got out of his restraints and came at me. And before I know it, there's a blast in the side of the vessel, and he's tearing into me.
Yeah.
I barely managed to get back to the pilot's seat to be able to land. When Arya came into the ship. She could fly.
Yeah, she was already on her way when I told you she was. There was no stopping her.
Obstinate woman.
Sometimes that's all they survive. Too stubborn to die.
Yeah. But that about sums up what happened.
Well,
I may be powerful myself, but even I could be caught off guard.
Illyra, Kinwin, and I went back out toward the crash site while we were waiting for you to wake up. Looking for signs of him.
What about my gear?
Tracking gear.
Yes.
So there aren't any remnants of the airship left.
No.
The only thing we found at the crash site were you and Zelda. She is there, you are here. That's beyond that. I don't know what they found.
Oh.
To me, they got pretty lucky if the entire airship got destroyed and they're not dead.
She is the ship. I am the ship. It disappears when we need it to.
Part of the crew, part of the ship.
In
They
a
are
matter
the
of
ship.
speaking.
They are the crew.
And he, with that chuckle, he winces again in pain. I don't expect you to understand. It's even more complex than I know. Really. But...
We only found you two at the crash site, didn't find anything else, so we didn't even go into the crash site looking for anything like that.
That means he has it.
Has
what?
My gauntlet. And my staff. It's my weapon and shield, basically.
What kind of trouble can he cause with them?
The powerful kind. Ancient Shadowheart technology.
What would Vanya know about the Shadowheart?
That's a history check.
Considering she's young, but she's still old enough to have lived through part of the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cacked.
Cacked.
History. 22.
Okay. You would know very, very early in your life that a lot of the citizens of the Shadowheart Empire had started making their way south because the mountains in that region were beginning to more or less be forever frozen at the time. That the weather up there had gotten so bitter that they were making their way southward, mostly into the Mesopotamian region, but also into the Grioran Empire, that far south. That they were essentially, with most of their citizens leaving the region, were looking to colonize. And so, wanting to pick up colonies here and there, and more or less the region that is called Shadowheart now is no longer an empire. They're so spread out that that Shadowheart as a country is a fraction of what it was prior to that. Prior to that, they were an expansive empire that was looking to making breakthroughs in technology to help in making such harsh conditions survivable, where even the Arctic regions could eventually be sustainably lived in. And so but ever since their prince went missing 100 years ago or so ago, the country itself just sort of broke apart, and the empire, as it were, collapsed, and Shadowheart is basically a very small country to the north at this point.
Okay. Well, as I said, we went out to see if we could track him. Prior experience says he can only teleport so far. Managed to start tracking him to the north, but we figured that's some sort of misdirection on his part. He is military after all.
Right, and he was spouting off something about repeating something about finding Mother. I don't know exactly what that would mean, but I have a guess.
What would be your guess?
If his powers are from aberrations, and aberrations are spawned from the calamity, he might be going to Fallfire. the only other region that has this significant amount of energy, or at least it did, such as the volcano, to be able to bring forth whatever it is he's looking for. It is a wellspring of chaos.
Great. Well, he's injured, and most we can figure is he's come back into the city for now. What he's going to do from here really remains to be seen.
And in a city this big, anyone who's anyone can disappear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be able to help you.
Oh no, we know this. You've got quite a bit of healing ahead of you.
I feel like I've failed in my duties as the person supposed to look after you, Vanya.
Goes to show you're still human in some aspect.
Hmm. Sort of.
Whatever that means anymore.
It still means what you think it means. But he looks over to the bed where Selters, this very small dragonborn sort of looking creature, is lying. She is going to take some time to recover.
Is she going to be able to recover fully, though?
I don't know.
Will she be okay?
I honestly do not know.
Through the research I've been able to do, no one, at least I have access to, has seen or taken care of a particular type of wounds, cured them, or done what I've done, so...
I suppose only time will tell.
I suppose the good news is if you're the supposed brain of the ship, you're up moving around. Ish. You're awake just a day after the crash.
I wish I could be of better service.
So, Lagan is going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on Selter, and then at 1st level on Cypher, and then he's going to go crash.
He's gonna go past the book out.
Arya and Kaz know what to look for. They've been there all day.
Mm-hmm.
He told them what to look for, and if anything, when he's taking his short rests throughout the day, the 30 minutes to an hour, what to look for to wake him up. So, yeah, he's going to pass the fuck out.
Okay.
Let's see. So for Cypher, 14. So 30. Uh, 18.
Okay.
And then he done.
Dunzo McGunzo, he out.
And you
Cypher-
got Arya off.
Cypher looks like he's about to pass out himself, or he's looking very tired.
Vanya will help him lay back down. Rest. We may be here a while anyway. We can keep an eye on you too.
I think you've done all that you can. It's just a matter of time now.
And hopefully him not swinging by to try to finish the job.
Oh, trust me, if he tries, he's going to get an even bigger fight than before.
Good.
Hopefully he's smart enough to stay away. Even with my gear. Try not to worry yourselves too much. We'll be fine. You get some rest.
That's what we tend to do, is worry.
Well,
Sometimes it's for the better.
It's gonna cause wrinkles. And I'm sure that you don't want to look older than you are.
Please, I'm still young.
I've known elves who have wrinkles.
Fair point.
At that exact moment, Alira ends up having this sudden horror and starts to feel her face.
Looking in the mirror, kind of inspecting herself a little bit. How funny.
I can see the widow's tears growing already.
Considering everything she's been through so far. With this girl.
It's enough to cause wrinkles. Well, with that being said, you are all free to get a long rest all together. All of you. And
Yay.
you awake to your usual morning rituals and are refreshed, all of you this time, and are free to go about your day, should you decide to do so. Cypher is sitting up, and he is eating, but he's taking his time. He looks like he wants to get up and go do something, anything, rather than lay down and be just immobile. He would rather be doing anything else. You can see that clear as day.
To keep him occupied, Vanya is going to plop Rune's journals and her one that she's been kind of writing in to cover the group's journey so far right in front of him. Here, read these. Keep yourself occupied.
Oh. You seem to understand me far better than you realize. And I don't know what to think about that.
I picked up a lot from Rune.
I thank you. I will try not to read them all in one night.
That would be preferable.
Can't guarantee it, though.
No, but knowing someone like you, you'd probably go back, reread and make your own notes and read about 5 more times to make sure you got everything.
It only takes once.
No, but I'm sure you have your bases covered.
Very sharp memory for these things. I thank you, though. Try to have fun, whatever it is you're doing today.
Well, our plan yesterday and the day before was to try to get an airship. I think we'll continue with that and see if we can find any information on Caleb in the city.
Perhaps for once we can end up offering you a ride.
Maybe even pick up a small job or two while we're here.
Are you really that hard up for coin?
No.
No. Keep ourselves occupied.
There's something to do.
Yeah. I can understand that sentiment. Plenty of coin and nothing to do with it. I just gave up on coin altogether myself.
There's plenty to do with it, but
Oh, yes. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of fun things that you can do with coin. But after you've been doing so for 100 and some years, it's all the same.
I'd imagine so.
Speaking of, what do you know of Dr. Celine Silverleaf, Professor?
I've only met her a couple of times. But I would say that she was brilliant. There was only a brief period where we traveled together, and, well, as far as personality, she was aloof. But there was a brilliant mind behind that, and that much I could recognize. But as far as beyond that, well, there wasn't a whole lot of interaction between the two of us.
Leora leans into him, Vanya. I was expecting him to say the obstinate. Yes.
Oh, she was obstinate as hell. Don't get me wrong. But, I suppose that comes with brilliance. Knowing that one is brilliant is often it often gets in the way of social things.
Professor Cypher, you are the most obstinate individual I know.
I take great pride in that, I assure you.
Obviously.
Hope you all have a pleasant day while I sit and read.
Of course.
Have a great day.
So, Lucky Sevens, what are you off to do?
I think we're going to buy a ship.
Yeah. Off to buy the airship.
You did get a lead saying that somebody was looking to sell, so I was going to calculate up some cost over the off week, and I did not do that.
You didn't do it.
I did not do
Out
that. Well, since it is going to be sort of a fortress in and of itself as well, I suppose that means that we can go into detail as to what it is that you want on the ship.
Well, we can start with it flying.
I mean, that comes bog standard. You know, the ship itself, as you as the seller is introducing it to you, is it has multiple decks, so it does have the same kind of layout as a cargo vessel of the same size that would otherwise run on the sea. It doesn't have it does have sails, but those sails are made of a material that is going to withstand the very, very strong winds of the upper atmosphere, and so they're definitely a stronger material than canvas, and so it is going to be harder to repair if they do get get mangled, but they are also more durable. So you have that going for you. The flying mechanism is of an arcane nature, so um, so it does require um, some magical capability to be able to pilot it. But uh, even a basic introductory level wizard would be able to do so. It just requires the ability to use magic to some degree for a pilot. Uh, so as far as the details on that go, and really it's just a matter of kind of touching the thing, and the crystals on the outside that you've seen on other airships start to kind of glow, and then start to levitate the the whole ship as a whole, just to kind of give you an idea of how the mechanism works. It does have some ability to propel itself a little, to some degree as far as the speed. So it goes about without the sails, it goes about as fast as a normal ship. With the sails, it goes faster. So it does. It can span the hundreds of miles of uh, of land that you have seen these things travel before in a matter of days, depending on where you can land and where you're going and things like that. You would be given a map of the known airports around the world. So you have access to all of the continents of the world with this thing. So if you want to add anything extra, like teleportation circles, like armaments, things like that, those things will cost extra. The base price is going to be 20,000 gold.
Okay.
For a
Teleportation.
teleportation circle?
That's for the ship. 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
For armaments of the ship, at least one fore and one aft.
Okay. What kind of armaments? You have the option for magical, or you have the option for cannons.
Well, we do have some.
Can we get one of each on the front and back?
I would guess that it has more to do with a weight issue. We are talking about something that flies, and while magic exists, so does gravity.
Well, how heavy are these turrets?
Even on the ocean, weight matters. Balance matters. More than weight. But yes, still matters even on the ocean.
So what about lighter weight weapons, if like completely surrounding
magical are a little easier to deal with than cannons, because then we don't have to worry about black powder.
Yeah, there's that.
I hate to rain upon your. I don't know where I was going with that. However, it's already proven that there are areas with wild magic. What do you suppose would happen if we've flown near them or had to land in an area with such things?
Nothing.
The magic might not be of use. However, we can do one of each.
I'm simply illustrating it is not like magic is any more reliable than your...
No, that's not what I'm saying. So we get the magic, one fore, one aft. We get the cannons for the sides. We still have all of the weapons.
I am still fascinated on the idea that you are discussing the details of a boat that thinks it's a bird.
What?
I think alongside that, being that the ship is
Like a
run on
floating
magic,
spider.
I
being
can
that the
pop.
ship is run by magic, it might be prudent to avoid wild magic areas as a whole anyway.
Well, the ones that we know
We can
of.
map them. Yeah.
We've been through a few, so yeah, that's
It might be worth trying to figure out where the other known ones are in the world to try to
compare
steer
the
around them.
compare the map that we've gotten with what we know of the areas that we've been through.
Yep.
Because I'm pretty sure just magic being present in general was the concern.
So armaments, and how much would a teleportation circle be?
Okay. So if you want 2 magical arms, you get to decide on an element. 2 magical arms for the one for the fore, one for the aft, would run 10,000 each.
Okay, so that would be 20. Yeah, and 40. And how much more for a teleportation circle?
So if you want a teleportation circle, you can use either teleport or teleportation circle as a spell to reach it. It would cost 5,000. And would take the better part of a year to install.
Okay.
We don't really have a year.
We don't have the year for that. So, yeah, we'll take the armaments and the ship. We'd love the teleportation circle, but we don't have the year to wait.
I mean, that's up to you.
I mean, unless you're going to stay on the ship and do it the whole that's going to be on ship the whole time, there's no way.
Something
I
to
think
think
we
about.
can go without the teleportation circles for now.
Oh, we'll get one. We don't have the time to wait for that. Within a year of what we know what's been going on, oh my god, there's so much work could be.
But yes, because this ship is not fitted with armaments at the moment,
Right.
installing those will take about a month.
I am aware.
It's a long ass time.
Yeah, magic takes a long time, especially because
even on the standard ship, without that magic or it takes time to put those on a ship.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them aren't just pick up and there you go. No, it takes time to do.
Are we still anywhere near a druid tribe?
The nearest ones would be the Children of Fire, which you just left.
About how far back are they?
Back on the mountain, the Obsidian Peak, which is a couple of weeks away from where you are on foot.
We can hang around.
It's not really good talking to them within a month, seeing as it'll take me a month to get there and back.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, I say we do the armaments. I mean, we can spend a month in the city. That's no big deal.
I've got patience.
Try to do something else. In that month, can I continue to study various religions?
Oh yeah, like the during that time is you're going to have downtime available for you. It's just going to be if there are other things that you want to do, we'll touch on that here in a bit. But getting the specifics of the ship is kind of where we're at right now. So the the ship itself is like 3 decks. So you have a top deck, a middle deck, and a lower deck. And then the different other things that are kind of attached to it too.
3 decks and it can only hold 2 turrets? It seems small.
It's a fairly small cargo ship.
Mm-hmm.
Can it have any armor on top of the 2 turrets?
It can, for extra gold.
Extra weight too.
Extra weight too. So the weight isn't necessarily going to matter all that much. But if you want to add armor, that is going to add extra time to the building process, because it comes basically stripped. It is basically a boat with magical propellers. Basically, everything else that you want to add to that is going to be more cost and more time.
How much more time?
Yeah, so I'm thinking a lot of people will probably be attacking us in this. So offense and defense would be nice.
Okay, so it is currently made of wood. If you want to add steel to the exterior, that will increase its defenses as well. And you can always add on to that. The extra cost to get the whole thing, basically like the underside and everything else, all kind of reinforced with steel, would cost another 20,000 gold. Just basically rebuilding the ship.
Okay. As a note, if we do that with the base cost of armaments and then the steel exterior, that is going to take us down to roughly about 8,000 gold, because we're sitting at 68k now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say.
800 platinum.
That's with the platinum already included.
Yeah.
That is.
We would have,
all the coins we have, the platinum, the gold, the silver,
we would have
the copper,
just enough to add the teleportation circle if this is going to take a year anyways.
How much extra time is the steel going to take? That's the question.
Basically, it would be adding hammered steel plates to the exterior. That alone would also take 2 months.
That ain't too bad.
So we're looking at 2 months.
2 months, yep.
Yeah.
Well, 2 months to install the armor and 1 month to install the armaments.
The armaments.
But to have the range and power that you're wanting for those, yeah, it would take 3 months in total.
Okay. 3 months, that's what I was figuring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Glide it down to.
Well, we're waiting on that. We could find out what plagues this city.
Yeah.
There is always that option.
Do some tracking, do some odd jobs. Yeah, I think we can find ways to spend that time wisely.
Okay. So we will probably come back to it next session about any kind of additional downtime. But if you wanted to do anything else in the immediate, then we can definitely continue that today. But yeah, you'll be able to, if you're looking to spend the gold and the time, it would that would be the cost of it.
That's okay by me. What do you guys think?
I'm fine with that.
And that is going to income
Use of the gold.
Yeah, that is going to include fully furnished quarters for all of you. That is going to include the install of a mess hall. That is going to include just about anything that you're going to need for sleep and eating is going to also already be included in that. So those come standard as part of the ship. But as far as like any additional supplies that you're going to need for like repairs and things like that, uh, you're going to they're very durable. They do withstand a lot of damage, and have you know, very sort of uh, durable sort of things. But replacing those things will mean going to an airport somewhere across the city. So if you find yourself stranded in the middle of a place that you've landed, but you need to repair one of your flight crystals, you're gonna have to make your way to an airport city before you can actually get it repaired.
Yeah.
So that's what you're gonna be able to go anywhere, to any city basically, because you can park outside on the land. But as far as getting any repairs or anything done, or being or like things like that, you'll have to go to an airship city, an airship capable city. So, and those I'll give you a map for too, because I'll have those mapped out next week, because I need to actually put them all on the map for you.
Yeah.
But there's at least one in every continent in every country that you're aware of, because it's a more readily available mode of transportation these days. So, what else are y'all wanting to do aside from that? Since you're gonna have 3 months of 3 months of downtime for sure, but if there's anything in the immediate that you want to do.
Well, someone find various religious leaders I haven't talked to before and learn their religion from them.
Okay, so you can spend some time doing that in the downtime. Okay, so we'll conclude that.
The various temples of the area.
And there are a number of them. Since you're in the capital city, just about every good deity has at the very least a shrine, if not a whole temple to themselves. You have the various clergy and things like that to the different deities. The primary ones obviously being Pelor, Melora, and Moradin as the creator gods. Those are the most prominent throughout the entire country.
Lagon definitely wants to spend time looking more into this, seeing if he can find any of the information of what he was getting from Professor Cypher about what happened and how this ties into the Fall Fire plane.
Okay. That's definitely doable. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back with more of what you'll want to do in Diamond City. This way we can plan it all out and everything. So we'll be back very soon, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to Rebirth, a D&D Tale. Where we had left off, the Professor Cypher, had woken from his injured state and, in brief, described the events that led up to the crash of his ship and why there is no wreckage to be had, per se. That Caleb had made off with some of Cypher's gear. Important gear that really should be gotten back. And that one of the things that Caleb had mentioned is that he is looking for Mother. Now, with everyone sort of getting to the point where they are purchasing their airship, detailing some of the inclusions that they will be that they want for their airship. Now that the order has been placed, it is time to get back to other work. Other work, meaning that our party has been investigating some of the things that have been going on in this continent, such as the cults that have been sort of brewing in the underground of the various continents all over the world, it seems. The ones intent on bringing to the forefront an old god, a defeated god, giving it new life, as it were. And so, with everyone sort of rested and ready to get on with their other duties for the day, having outlined what they would like for their airship, they are now free to do whatever it is that they like. I think there is one thing, though, that Lagon wanted to address for Alira, and maybe the rest of the party, too. Arya is still around, sort of assisting in things that as needed, but also kind of keeping to herself a little bit as of late.
So before we get ready to leave, Lagan would pull Alira aside, and while going through one of the side sacks on the handy haversack, start pulling out different jewels for Alira to hold, to see if any of them help improve with her sensitivity to the light around her.
Like pressing one of them up to her eyes or things like that?
Well, between her eye and the light, to see if any of them help at all, and as much as putting up to her eye. I have onyx, I have amethyst, I have topaz.
Okay.
I have some rubies, some emeralds. I have different gems. I collect stones.
Yes. Most of which would have some transparent elements, but mostly opaque. They mostly are not see-through. You're looking for more along the lines of colored glass, if you're wanting it to be transparent. So if you're looking to make a sunglasses equivalent, then yeah, tinted glass would be it's common enough for sunglasses to be a thing. They're not necessarily a magical item necessarily, but you can get tinted colored glass for glasses and spectacles. Even monocles made in tinted glass.
The stones are to help determine which one helps best.
Yeah, as far as those stones go, there's not enough of a transparent element to know. So, it would be a matter of finding something that's more transparent than any of those stones. if you've ever looked at a whole amethyst or a whole ruby, kind of in the raw or cut, they have some transparency, but not enough to make them sunglasses per se.
Right.
What they all do look pretty. You've never seen them in this light before. You've seen each of these kinds of jewels in the subterranean sort of lighting that you're used to. You're used to the different variations in the luster of them in bioluminescent light, but in daylight, they look so weird.
I imagine at this point, Alira is more caught out just trying to understand, like, okay, what exactly are you, what is this, why?
He says this is a ruby, and you're like, a ruby doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
And with each one that he's pulling out, you're like, that's what that looks like in this kind of lighting? Just kind of looking them over, having fun, just kind of playing with pretty rocks. So what else are y'all doing?
Well, at this point, I need to, if we're waiting for some time, start looking for details on that, well, a body, because at this point, I ended up making my promise that I would look into a potential murder that was most foul.
Yes, that's that grave that had been exhumed and then replaced due to a further investigation going on. And so you were looking more into that and seeing what more you could find as far as clues, as far as that goes, looking for a potential murderer. Okay. So based on the details that you would learn from the various people that you talk to, probably take the better part of a day to track down who to talk to. You come across the person who was doing the investigations. Obviously, you don't have any kind of official capacity in this city. They do give you some vague details that about how the body was found and things like that, but they are not they're not in a position where they can give you any suspects. Because there's not any official capacity going on, that it is being undertaken by the city authorities, whom you are familiar with how they're dressed, as armed guards and investigators are who you were avoiding contact with in searching the crash site. So you can talk to them if you'd like, and see if they're willing to part with some details, if you are willing to help with the investigation. But if it's out of your own curiosity, then it might be prudent to wait for an official report, as official reports do go out daily in like newspaper and things like that.
Well, I think that I'm going to end up offering my assistance in that regard.
As a private investigator? Okay. And they ask you to provide a name for your organization. Are you using the Lucky Sevens, or are you using your own name?
Yes. Let's use the Lucky Sevens.
Okay.
Because it's probably going to add to the tragedy.
As a PI group, yep.
Why not? It's what we've effectively been doing this entire time.
Yep, exactly. Bunch of PIs, private investigators, which isn't unheard of. Lots of different private investigator sort of groups, and adventuring parties and monster hunter groups. All these kinds of things do occasionally help in official city matters, and so long as there's a official record of you all taking part in the investigation, then everything is according to the books. And so the officer that you're speaking with is at sort of the local barracks. Kind of gives you more details as to like the person who was killed, their physical description and things like that. That the weapon used was a something between a dagger and a short sword, but also kind of serrated. Like it was meant to be a really brutal sort of an injury. That the person that was killed was of some noble standing. Maybe not like a high noble, but definitely kind of like more middle range sort of noble's child. Adult, but an heir to that modicum of nobility. The only heir from the details they give you. So the officer speculates it might have been some kind of attack against the house, as far as causing tragedy to the house directly, or it was some kind of a vengeance hit, as he speculates that another noble family may have put out a sort of assassination, maybe, in that regard. He's seen other attacks like this before against other nobility, and so that's what leads him to come to that sort of MO.
Against other nobility?
Mm-hmm.
Any particular houses of note or anything that sounds particularly important that may be a lead?
The houses mentioned are kind of like they're not like high nobility. They're all kind of in that middle sort of bureaucratic range, where maybe they're like maybe like the noble person of a neighborhood, but not necessarily like the king or the mayor of the town or things like that. They're kind of more like city officials, like council members, things like that, for different districts. But the pattern seems to center around middle range as far as their importance in the city. Thankfully, no one's gone after the royal family. No one's gone after the religious council that run the country. Nothing highborn like that. But they're worried that the underground is getting bold about it. That there are people who will kill others for money.
So not really much of a lead to end up going on at this point.
They suspect a sort of a known crime organization, but they have no evidence to point it directly to them. It's all circumstantial and evidence sort of hidden or disguised or things of that sort, even by magical means too. Even trying to detect, even trying to speak with the dead has not come with any kind of conclusions, as the attacker, the person attacked, either never saw their face or the face they saw was hooded. Always attacked in sort of a sudden manner.
Well, if that is the case, then I think it would be for the best that I end up going to maybe some of the more crime-ridden areas of the city. As as Diamond City is, I'm sure it has its rough spots. And as such, I am going to go and investigate that, see if I can end up using them as ties. Or pardon, trying to see if I can find ties between them and, well, the current organization that's suspected. See if I can find a lead that's maybe they overlooked. After all, my talents seem to differ greatly compared to others above ground.
Okay. So what exactly are you trying to find out?
So I'm trying to end up finding an end to this organization. I imagine myself in a spider form would be easy to eavesdrop on conversations, find damning, incriminating evidence, or maybe exonerate in the case that they're barking up the wrong tree. Either way, it helps speed up the investigation.
Okay.
Brings a certain sense of comfort to the dead.
Okay. I'm trying to think what we can do with that.
Well, if you can't do anything about it right now, we can move on for a bit.
Well, it's more along the lines of I'm trying to think of how that would help you. And how you would go about doing that. So it's really more of a skill check that I'm trying to think of. Because you're trying to infiltrate this organization, really. Because that's okay. That is going to be because you're going to the slums to try and track down this place, where potential nefarious dealings are happening. So that's going to be an investigation check at first.
Okay. Four.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, poor Lyra. She means well. She means so well. You're not finding...
Well, I'm in a dead end.
You're not finding any inns yet. As far as as far as trying to overhear conversations and listen in and investigate where they could potentially be hiding, it's a from what you gather, these kinds of organizations are secret for various reasons, obviously. So finding a conversation where this is being spoken about out in the open, that's where you're finding it hard at the moment. So it's going to take some time for you to even be able to be able to even get that in for the moment. So that might be something that you could pursue over your downtime with greater success. But as of right this moment today,
not with a 4, I won't.
No, yeah, no one's even speaking about the death of this noble person. And maybe that's a clue in itself. No one's speaking about it. No one's talking about it. Even though the official sort of death sort of declaration is meant to go out into the public news, as far as the papers and things like that, today, no one's talking about how or why or anything like that.
This is perturbing. I find this perturbing.
So who else is up to what?
Lagan would like to start investigating in the slums, but he's going for a different reason than Alira. He's looking for people that might have been harmed in a similar manner, but he's going as the doctor and healer that he is.
Okay. So, with what intention?
Oh, because the crime-ridden areas are the least likely to be served by anybody of a noble or even some of the clergy.
No, I understand that. What are you trying to find out?
Or healing. Well, specifically to see if anybody else has any similar injuries to this noble, or it's been heard of any other similar injuries, as well as healing those that need it where I can.
So, as I said to Derek, no one's talking about it.
Okay. They're not talking about anything similar either.
Everyone's hush hush. So, if you were meaning to help, you probably should have stated that earlier.
No, I was doing this on my own.
Well, this is something that the death of this noble person is something that Alira had been doing by herself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is something that she was investigating by herself. I don't know that she brought it up to the rest of the party. Did she? Oh, you're muted, Derek.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did.
I brought it up last week.
Oh, I don't remember anything.
If I didn't bring it up last week, then I apologize. I think I've discussed it in my been out of character conversation, but I would have informed.
I thought I understood that Alira said this to the party where we wrapped up. That was my understanding. I apologize if I...
No, that's probably me doing a derp because I have no idea where to go with this.
Coffee is it.
I relied on Derek Dice and I lost. That's all that we need to know.
It's a day for derp. Let's just say that.
No, it was meant like, I don't know. It was meant to just be a thing that happened in the city. So
Okay.
But as far as so if that's something that you are pursuing with Alira, then yes, you would find out the same information, that no one is talking really about what's going on as far as, nobles on the occasion getting hit like this. Anyone that has been hit like this has died. There is no survivors of this kind of attack.
I'm trying to find out who the other that have been attacked.
Oh, the
would be. Yeah.
Over the last year, it's been 3 sort of minor nobles.
Similar to the one that Alira uncovered?
Yes, including the one that Alira uncovered.
Okay.
No one of really any kind of big importance, but enough to cause maybe some familial back and forth spite. More into city politics sort of thing, more than anything else.
Well, if it's no secret, if I was a betting boy, and I'm not, I just punch things, but if I was, I would say someone is trying to leverage the fact that the politics in this city are tenuous at best. Kill off enough people, get enough people pointing fingers at each other, and everything will fall apart. Because, well, people get angry when people die.
Who stands to gain the most if it crumbles?
Someone who doesn't actually care about the city and would be more than happy to simply run off with the incidental leftovers. Or maybe weakened it enough for occupation by someone else. So, sympathize with other causes, chaotic elements, things like that. That's what I would look at mostly. Although, this reeks far too much of, far too much of the hustle and bustle of people stuffed in boxes for my taste. So there'll be a malcontent, but the pieces don't fit. Especially with people not talking about it. Seem at the very least, the general rabble don't care.
Lagan would go back. Pardon me.
Good. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Lagan would go back to the person that they were talking to with becoming private eyes, or find his own person with this investigation, to see if he could get the information on these other two minor nobles that were found in a similar condition.
Well, that's the information they would be able to give you, is that they were killed in the same way.
Same type of weapon.
Mm-hmm.
All
Stabbed
minors.
in the back through the heart. Yeah. With a serrated blade.
Serrated blade. Are we thinking more of like maybe a Chris, something with a snaked blade?
Something that's more akin to like a steak knife, but in a dagger form. In that it's meant to cause the most amount of damage in the least amount of time. So stab through and like rip out, and that even if someone were to have healing magic in a proper amount of time, there is still the risk of death. That it is meant to be more or less untreatable by emergency services, whatever that might be. That the person may still die even if they get proper medical attention right away. Especially through the heart, it would just like rip tissue out. The wound would have tissue ripped out of it. That even if the person was healed, they would be at a diminished capacity, and even then, still possibly die from their injuries.
Even if they miss the heart, the lungs, other arteries, major veins in the body run through that general area.
Mm-hmm.
Ripping those apart, nasty to heal. Where were the other two found in relation to where the other guy was found?
They were found in a similar sector of the city. Same sector of the city.
Okay. And there haven't been any facts of
like same sector of the city. By what I mean by that is that it is entirely possible that it is warring families within that sector. So these families are known to have animosity, and there's a known criminal element to the city because of how big the city is, and it is completely plausible that they would be able to hire adventuring parties, even like yourselves, to put a hit out on somebody. Assassinations are uncommon, but also not unlikely. It is something that has been known to happen between warring families in the politics of the city. Especially if the two families don't coincide religiously either. So there's some animosity between even the creator gods. They're not all unified when it comes to the different churches, the different regions and things like that. So
I guess that would move our investigation into the surrounding areas around these two families, or three families, whatever it is. At least looking for somebody carrying a weapon of similar description as to what we've been given.
Okay, so I guess what I need to ask is, what is the ultimate aim of investigating this person and these nobility? Because it is something to follow, but what is your ultimate aim? What are you trying to accomplish by investigating this? So are you trying to determine whether it's linked to the things that you've already been investigating, or what? Because this
Trying to determine if this is linked to what we've already been investigating. Yes.
okay. So see if there's a tie between the inner politics of the city and the greater thing that's going on in the rest of the world with the cults that you've been following.
Right.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if any of the families that are involved in this have ties to the cults through this investigation is specifically where I was going with this.
Okay. So that's where you're going with that. Okay.
Yeah. I'm still looking for that.
So um that would obviously take time getting to know, different the different people in this region, and that's a lot of carousing that's going on.
Right.
That could be a time activity by itself.
Okay.
All
right.
Because that's possibly going to take more time than just one day. So if that's something that you want to put down for your downtime activity, that's something that we can do for the next the 3 months that you will have of downtime, and then I could come up with something for you. So is that is there anything else that anybody else was doing, or are we moving on to downtime activities? Is that what we're doing?
Vanya was just going to spend the day in general looking to see if there were any signs of the cult, or if anyone matching Caleb's description got into the city.
Okay.
She's not going to spend like a lot of time on it, especially not that second part.
Okay.
But just trying to tie up a few loose ends on her part.
Okay.
And Kaz will keep himself available to Vanya in case she does find something. Mainly because he's known for being very slippery, and Kaz is the only one they have that's currently fast enough to catch him.
The good news is they tracked him and more or less so far understand that he's in the city.
So far as you know.
Hunting him down is a good idea. No. Because of the fact that, the super powerful dude who can teleport everywhere said that Caleb stole some of his stuff.
That's not
him.
good.
Plus, that stuff is just a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
So with that entire thing, let's just not.
You're right.
Okay. So you're going about looking for this cult, kind of directly in that case. That can kind of tie in where Lagan and Alira are kind of looking too. Obviously, it is taboo to talk about anything other than if you're looking for a cult, you don't say so out loud. You kind of go through the underground channels and things like that. So if you're, because rumor has it that this has been something kind of going on a little bit all over the country, in that yes, the whole country is a theocracy. They're kind of ruled and governed by the religious order of the region. Anything that kind of stands out as kind of an anti, not necessarily anti-creator gods, but kind of, seen as opposition to that, is kind of seen as cult worthy. So there are kind of rumors about that going on a little bit from here and there. But as far as an actual cult of the dead god that you're looking for, the cult that you're looking for, that is going to be a deception check from one of you. Because you're trying to be surreptitious and trying to get information without saying that you're going to be looking actually at joining the cult. So,
what's your deception? Lethality?
2.
It's my roll then, understood. 4.
I can help ish.
You can collude to roll at advantage.
Okay. Let me get my other dice. Thankfully, it's just right there in reach. 20. Dirty 20.
Okay. So kind of running into what Lagon and Alira are doing too, because they're going through by means of the politics of the city, where you're coming in from we're looking for a cult specifically sort of a deal, and you're both kind of gonna meet in the middle, where yes, there's the occasional pockets of believers in the various other deities, neutral-ish deities from time to time that might be considered, taboo or might even be illegal in this particular country, which Vanya, you're not unaccustomed to, because any and all religious sort of gathering is in secret in the Grioran Empire. So the fact that there may even be a worshiper of a devil, yeah, or something else, to that effect, where it's lesser known sort of a deal. You're hearing some rumor of that, and that but as the four of you kind of converge together in your investigations over this time, you do begin to kind of see that that maybe this new cult, this cult that you're looking for, has started to become maybe more apparent, as some of the people that you're starting to tail are missing an eye.
You're muted.
Is it a specific eye, or is it they're just missing an eye?
They're missing their left eye. And out of the whole city, you only see 2 people like this. One of which has an eye patch over his eye, but the other one kind of wears it openly. Ish. They're still kind of hooded and things like that, but don't you
have through any of the investigation, have any of us heard the mention other than from Caleb of mother?
No.
Okay.
Kinwin doing?
Not bad. What's everyone else doing right now?
They're investigating the existence of other cults that might be in the city.
Yeah, that would seem to be a wise decision.
Okay, so you're kind of going along?
Yep.
Okay. And and the rumors are very few and far between. Like the rumors that you do hear are very hushed. They're 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 not really openly talked about. Um, and it seems to be a problem that needs addressed, but no one really wants to go out into like and bring it to the attention of anyone, because if they do, they might be labeled as conspirators or something like that. There's a lot of fear in that regard of, while they might point something out, they might also get lumped in and kind of suspected as well. So it's not like people are overtly being persecuted in the streets, but they fear it.
Yeah.
Because they've been to witch burnings. There's been hangings. There's been, people being tried for their various different things that are, associated with anything that might be considered evil. That have taken place and are made very public in those kinds of cases. So going against the rulership is not necessarily done so out in the open.
Yeah.
Of any kind, really. Whether it's religious or secular at all.
Yeah, I think if she can't get too far for the day, then she'll leave it for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep an ear out otherwise, if anything does happen. Or if a certain someone shows up.
Well, anything else the rest of y'all are doing? Because if not, then we can call it here for the night, and then come back with downtime, like more downtime stuff next week.
I think that might be an idea, if only to get our bearings on how we're going to tackle this, what's the term I'm looking for? Fustercluck? Yeah, Fustercluck.
An apt discussion if I ever saw it.
Yeah.
Which we could do
we need to make sure that we kind of are all on the same page, so that we don't face the consequences out of character. I mean, face a black hole.
Would I be able... Sorry, you go.
You go.
Would I be able to buy a brewing kit?
Let's see. A brewing kit? Like brewer's tools? Let me look at that. Let's see what that's all that entails. Brewer's supplies. Consists of a large glass jug, a quantity of hops, a siphon, and several feet of tubing. So the supplies, would be used to craft anything of an alcoholic nature. Not only does it serve... Okay, let's see. Brewing is the art of producing beer. Not only does...
Yeah, my D&D Beyond, they don't even have a broom.
Yeah, this is why I don't use D&D Beyond as my only source of materials, because they don't have everything. Most of what they have is limited to what is available for free in the like the free D&D stuff. So, but brewer's supplies allows you to detect poison or impurities in a drink, identify alcohol, or ignore the effects of alcohol, and be able to brew alcohol, obviously. How much? Let's see. Is that?
It's 20 gold.
20 gold?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 20 gold for the supplies. To gain proficiency in it, you would need to spend time actually learning the craft.
Oh,
I mean, we've got downtime for that.
Yeah,
so.
we've got 3 months of
maybe
downtime.
also a book on brewing to help me along with that.
Yeah, that's all part of gaining proficiency. Gaining proficiency takes just time to do. So if that's something you want to do in your downtime, go ahead and add it to your list, because there will be, because what we're basically going to do is you're going to list out what it is that you're looking to do during that time. If we can get to it, we'll get to it. And depending on how much you're wanting to take on, 3 months might not be enough time. So just keep that in mind. The things that maybe you're doing together, or maybe that I can think of an appropriate scene to follow through with. We'll include that in like some role play next session. But primarily it will be your downtime activities next time, getting your airship, because it'll be completed at the end of the 3 months, and then you guys doing whatever it is you want to do after that. So, I'm sure the investigation is going to continue into that 3 months, so depending on what else you want to tackle during that time, it may affect the speed at which you're doing some things. So, but yeah. If y'all want to curate that list for me for next week, I will.
It'll be a short one.
Yeah.
I already have some ideas.
We could definitely sort that out.
Because I definitely want Spectre to be able to do some downtime activities with Arya too. So we'll collude during the week for all of that. Yeah. So I think that'll be the end of tonight's session, since we'll be getting into downtime stuff next week. And getting your airship.
Yes.
So yeah. Thank you guys so much for playing.
No worries.
Thank you.
You guys are great.
Thank you for letting me give it after break.
I told you could pop in at any time that you felt better, so...
Yeah, I know. I am thankful for the fact that you were being patient with me despite my body deciding to implode.
The fact that happens as often as it does, I'm concerned.
I've already been to a doctor. But you wanted to speak up with something, Wood?
Right. Right. I don't know. But everybody is going to get their experience for today, so you get your 5 for showing up. Even if you showed up for half the time, you still get that 5. And then we're going to talk about some roleplay prompts. Because you did make some progress on some of the things, but you didn't complete anything at the moment. So you're going to get that, you're going to get 2 experience. So it's going to be 7 base and then the roleplay prompts. And so, who pushed any plot today?
I'm gonna say Alira.
Alira.
Oh,
Alira.
Yep.
all right. Well, I think that's unanimous. Alira, you get the plot mover.
Okay.
I think that
You
one
get
went
the
without
tape
question. Everybody gets concise on that one.
Well, I'll try.
Yeah. Who had our best scene from tonight? That one's the
I'm gonna give
toughie.
it to Lagon.
Okay.
If only that it was very apparent what he was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, it yeah.
Okay.
I'll go for that.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the experience we all got?
You all got 7.
7 base, and then Alira got plot mover.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm willing to agree with Derek and Raven on that one.
Okay. So then I guess Lagon gets the plot mover. Or no, best scene, rather. Best line.
I'm going to go Alira's. You are the most obstinate person I know.
I was expecting him to say obstinate. Well, that too. Yeah, it usually comes with a bright mind. You are the most obstinate person I know. Clara learned a new word today. Did you say obstinate?
That one made me giggle, so.
I agree.
Okay. Any other contenders?
Honestly, no. I think that's got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alira it is then. Alira it is. Oh. Thank you, Maddie, for 60 months.
Oh.
That is Maddie
5
hitting the
years.
5-year mark. Subscribed. Holy cow. Holy cow.
See, Derek?
Weather.
See, Derek? They tolerate you. They really, really tolerate you.
Still trying to figure out why.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's just call it the vapidness of youth.
the vapidity of youth.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Fantastic. All right.
You were not going anywhere.
Well, I think that does it for that experience. We're just waiting on people to vote for their audience favorite. Who amongst our cast, be it Kinwin, Lagon, Alira, Kaz, or Vanya, that's your favorite. You can spend channel points to do it, so get your vote in. We see 2 people have voted out of the 11 viewers that we have right now, so get your votes in, guys. It doesn't matter what the reason is. We don't have much time left. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being my cast because you're pretty great, and I appreciate it. You guys will definitely has some colluding to do, but we should be able to make things happen.
Really the best DM I've ever had.
I mean, I'm your first.
Hey, look, coffee. It's the sample size of 1. Take it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Alira, you got the audience favorite for tonight.
What?
Yay!
Woo!
This vote is stolen.
Well, since that concludes everything that we're doing, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say it is, as some people say, rigged.
Rigged.
And for once, not to me.
Love it. Love to see it. Well, since that does it for us for tonight, let's find somebody to raid and see what we can do to do that. So, hopefully, you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Me and my cast have some colluding to do. So, we shall see you all next time, where we go and dive deeper into the goings on of Diamond City.
Hold on. I have a raid.
You have a what?
I have a raid target.
A raid target.
Yes.
Yes.
Where
He might be beating me to the punch, but I think I know who he's after. Maybe.
There it is.
But yes, we are on Discord.
Yep.
And we are on YouTube. So go follow on all of the things that are all there. We would love to have you all for more. And you can be like Maddie and subscribe to the Twitch channel and actually support what we do as far as the show. So if you enjoy what you're seeing, you can do many things to help us out. Subscribe on YouTube is free. Subscribe on Twitch. You can come join us on Twitch for the live show and be able to help us out financially. Whatever way you feel comfortable with and stuff, because, I appreciate it all just the same. Like, comment, and subscribe, because I have had comments on some of my videos. So do that more.
Engage with the algorithm.
Yes, engage.
The algorithm is your god.
Engage.
We like engagement.
All
so
the algorithm.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and for my cast for playing. And until we see you again, say goodnight, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.